if a man is 40, never been married, what do we think of him, Nicole?
Bachelor for life.
Bachelor for life.
Bachelor for life. Single men 40 plus have a poor choice of women to choose from. But do they? Am I just randomly saying that? Is it a title? Is it a sort of a spicy, controversial title? Yeah? Is it? Millennial men. You amazing bastards. Us as amazing bastards as millennial men. Men in general, whatever age you are. Younger men, older men. Now some would say as a man who creates content for men, of course you're gonna exaggerate the greatness of men, aren't you? Of course. Yeah, why wouldn't I? I am a man. I am a millennial man. Why would I not glorify us as men? Why would I not see us as amazing? If individually I see myself as so, why would I not see collectively all of us as so? Now all of us aren't, to be honest. I don't talk for all men, I talk for decent men. If you're a decent, put together man, you're not one of these weirdos out here that love to give women a reason to waffle and say, oh, men are weird and creepy. No, you're not one of them dudes. You're a content, self-contained man. Truly powerful, yeah? You know, when you feel good about yourself as a man, a grown man, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That good feeling about self. It's cliche to say you should love yourself. That's cliche, isn't it? I love yourself. In this world, in this fucking world, you love yourself. Yes, you should. All the more reason to. You know the world shit. If you think the world shit, and completely and wholly isn't, come on. But if you think the world is shit, you think life is shit, why not try to love yourself even more? Doesn't that make sense? To some it does. Now what the F am I waffling about? What's all this waffle about? The thing about being a grown man, 40 plus, single, bachelor grown man, you've lived long enough to see enough, haven't you? You've been through enough, haven't you? You've had enough experiences, haven't you? Good and bad, good or bad, all of it. Life's a bitch and she's been treating you like crap. Yeah, it's just another day, isn't it? But the point is, the reason I think it's good to feel good about yourself as a man, especially a grown man, is because you have been through so much, you have seen it, haven't you? Some could say you've seen it all, you've been there and done it all, haven't you? To a point of it being boring, isn't it? So when the question is, do men have a poor choice of women to choose from when they reach millennial age, when they reach their 40s, for the elder millennials? On one hand, yes. Another hand, they've learnt too much. Another hand, some can't be bothered, or they've never had the opportunities. But on the fourth hand, being a bachelor in 2025 is, for some men, the best hand. It makes perfect sense. I hope you're focused and on your square.
So guys, me and Nicole both agree that if a man is 40 plus, or at least 40, and he's never been with a woman, he's never lived with a woman, never been married, what do we think of him, Nicole?
Bachelor for life.
Yeah, bachelor for life. And there is a reason he never committed. I think he just doesn't wanna, what's the word? He doesn't wanna compromise. He wants things his way.
Interesting. Lovely woman and Nicole waffling about men. Are they insulting men? Are they sort of cussing off men? To be a millennial bachelor, they're talking from the perspective of the men who have never been in anything serious, anything long term, they've never been married, don't have any kids, possibly don't have any kids, and they're single bachelor men at 40. So they're questioning, so what would make a man reach such an age, 4 decades plus on this planet Earth, on terra firma, and he's never secured a wife, girlfriend, even long term, never lived with, probably just had flings, but never any full-term commitment. Interesting. Now some would say a lot of men can get away with it because it's men. Men can kind of do whatever they want to do. But that is a good question in itself, isn't it? Now some could say it's been a lack of opportunities, haven't been in the right place, right time, the right environment. Interesting. Never had the opportunities. Okay. And then you have some men who have possibly just been having hookups their entire adult life. You can put F-boys in this category as well because, yeah, let's be honest, some men have just been F-boys, haven't they? Running through women, haven't you bastards? For most of their adult life, from their school days, college days, to their job, career, business, whatever. F-boy playboys. Yeah, could be various reasons why some men reach an age without ever being in anything long term. And feel free to comment this. Like if you're one of those dudes, like, hey, let them know why. But the point I want to make is opportunities. Now this includes all men now. Men who do have kids and have been married, lived with women and had relationships and whatever. At 40 now. I mean, a difference would be if those bachelor men who never got married or anything chose to get married now, they may be looking at women in a different perspective, aren't they? Wouldn't they? Yeah, they would. Because they've never made such a big and deep commitment. Interesting. But for the men who have been there now, it's a sense of, You know a possible outcome of this new commitment, this new woman you've met. Oh, she's lovely, indeed. For how long? Yeah, she's lovely for how long, my God. So the point I'm making is, the bachelor men who have always been so, and then want to have a deep commitment now, it could actually be more tricky for them because it's going to be a completely new experience at 40 plus. And then on the other end, the men who have been there and done it, the current bachelors now, who are possibly never going to go back. Yeah, can you blame them? They'd be looking at women in a different perspective now, wouldn't they? Because yes, one still has needs. And also companionship, yes, add companionship to it as well. You know, you gotta have a woman you can talk to every now and again, innit? Yeah, of course. But the question is now value. Yeah? Because what's a millennial woman to a millennial man? A headache that you're aware of. Like, I know you. Been there before. Compared to dating a woman in her 20s now. Yeah? That's why for a lot of men, naturally, it is easier if you're still going to date and whatever. Let me date a younger woman. And date a younger woman, please. Yeah, why not? But the question is still, for both men, what is the quality of women they have to pick and choose from now? Is it even a good quality, my God?
What do you think?
What do you guys think? This is a huge red flag. If a guy
In 1
who's
mile,
40,
turn left onto Arizona Avenue.
who's 40,
44.
44, never been married, never lived with a girl. I mean, not even lived with a girl? What the hell? I lived with a guy when I was 20. I had a boyfriend, we lived together for 1 year.
1 year, okay, but in her 20s, okay. They've been there and done it, men would understand this, wouldn't you? If you got your own place, never live with a woman again. Never live with never in your effing life live with a woman again. I say again, if you've been there and done it before, never again. My God, never share a bank account with a woman. Never again. It's okay, woman, have yours, I'll have mine. Look, it's not an entire horror show living with women, but it's, I do believe one has to be strong. I think you have to be strong, and you do kind of have to relinquish enough power. Even if you are the man of the house, yes, of course. Yeah, of course. But you kind of have to, oh my God, give her room to be. I think this is why a lot of men get trapped in man caves, my God. Oh my God. But if you have the choice and the power and the effing will, you never live with a woman again in your damn life. I'm saying that to me as I'm saying it to you as well. For fuck's sake. I don't know why I'm cussing. There's a lot of passion. It's not anger, it's passion. Yeah. So yeah, we understand why some men are bachelors. And for men that haven't lived with a woman before, it can seem like roses to a degree, can't it? She's always there, isn't she? Constant access to women, don't you? Yeah. All the benefits don't outweigh the cons. You should say it's a fucking con. Give me room, woman, I can't breathe.
At 44,
Comments and feedback.
yeah, what do you guys think? Because this is ridiculous. I mean, those men are they're hosts, seriously.
Did you say they're hoes? But then again, can you blame them if they are? I mean, if some men have just been getting access and it's like, yeah, okay, whatever, I can get my needs met without ever having to commit, why not? Why buy a woman when you can get the milk for free? Yeah, I don't need to buy a cow. Yeah, whatever, you get the point. But yeah, is it wrong? Are those men wrong? A lifetime whore? A lifetime man garden tool? Interesting. Comment if you've been. Yeah, some men have been part-time garden tools. Yeah, kind of life of being a man, you fuck about as much as you can, can't you? Shot. Let's carry on.
Average men do not need extraordinary women. They've got no idea what to do with them.
Okay.
We also live in a society where a lot of people aren't striving to become better, to become the better versions of themselves. They don't want to grow. A person who likes to grow picks a partner who challenges them, who pushes them, who's supporting them to improve.
Interesting. What a lovely woman making some good points. I want to improve, to get better. How many do? Do you? You know, I say to men, get money, work out home. Beyond it just being a saying, beyond it just being a phrase that I say, I do think it's good for men to want to improve themselves in the best way they can. Constantly maintain yourself as a man, like a car. Especially if you love cars, you understand the maintenance of them, as you should for self. Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs is an idol to many men and women, many people. Steve Jobs. Yeah, Apple Steve Jobs, Pixar Steve Jobs, yeah? However, because he didn't want to improve and maintain himself physically, put all his energies into what he was doing, he never got to see the full fruits of his labor. Yeah, I never got to see Apple fully bloom, interesting, and blossom. He never got to see it become the orchid, whatever that it actually became, and what it is now, because Apple's annoyingly expensive for no reason. Whatever, that's not the point. Do you understand what I'm saying? And he could have got treatment. Man had enough money to get treatment. He was just like, you know what, I'm going to leave it. I'm going to put it off for a bit, because, I'm working on my craft. Apple. Yeah? Gonna show these fuckers what a real phone's like. Yeah, you fuckers don't know what a smartphone is. I'm gonna show you. And he did. He didn't get to see it though, did he? He didn't get to see it. The overall point to my waffle is, I think as a man, you should continue to improve yourself. Always, as best you possibly can. Yes, of course, work out and maintain the body. Fitness, walk your dog, whatever. Any form of fitness, you get the point. Move your effing body. But the interesting point to add to this, as grown men, is, like she's saying, I mean, if we're being honest, you can become more difficult to date and want to be with if you're a person who's constantly improving, if you want better for yourself. Because if you do want better for yourself, obviously the person you're with, people you're around, yeah, you want better for them as well, don't you? Yeah. Because obviously if they're not in a better frame of mind, they'll drag you down to their depths, crabs in a barrel. You get the point. But that does work with relationships as well, doesn't it? It does work with relationships. And it's something never spoken about enough. Being a decent, put-together man, you're on your square, you're on your game, you're doing what you need to do, yeah? But it doesn't mean every woman you're going to meet is she? Let's not act as if there aren't tons of men out here who continually trying to improve themselves and get better, and they meet women who are very stagnant, bed-rotting chick. She's a bed-rotting chick, sitting in her place manifesting a man. Yeah, she's got a job and everything, but come on, she's a lazy chick. It's like, come on, woman, you're gonna drag me down, where's the energy? Yeah, you're meant to be a girly pop. The only thing you're popping is your phone. Yeah, flicking and scrolling away at your phone, come on. So in terms of choice and options, being a man who's too on your square nowadays, that is bad for you. Let's not act as if single bachelor men at 40 plus, it's like, oh, they've got a bevy of women to choose from. It's a complete, oh, look at that. No, they don't. A lot of baby mothers to choose from, a lot of traumatized women to choose from, a lot of divorced ex-wife women to choose from. Not saying the bad women, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying the bad just because of who they are and their experiences. But it's like, my God, these are my options. And even if they date younger women, it doesn't mean they're going to get a better woman. She's just a younger chick. Oh, we can have some fun, but sadly, that's all it might be. Fun. So the modern bachelor man, how wrong is he for being who he is? Or is he just a product of his environment? Yeah, can't help but being a product of your environment. Can you?
People who pick the same types of partners are people who don't want to grow. Be it men who pick people-pleasing women to serve them, or be it women who pick weak men to control them. That's it.
A brief point. Sometimes I don't blame men who settle. I'm not saying I would. I'm not, personally, that's not for me. But I wouldn't blame certain men who settle. Like, you want a woman? She'll do. Won't she? I mean, she's not great, but I mean, yeah, she's there, isn't she? Yeah, and she's somewhat fond of you. Yeah. So men who want that, I don't blame them for settling. Again, it's not my personal choice, but I don't blame them for settling. I mean, it's a woman there, isn't she? And she'll do for you. Interesting. I'm not saying it's good. I'm just making a point.
How low would you go? We're talking about men here and not in that department. Get your mind out of the gutter.
What a lovely woman. My mind was not in the gutter, but you bought it there. Yeah? What a lovely woman with a filthy mind. Get your mind out the gutter.
We're talking about age, only because I'm seeing so many posts from younger men, like 20, 30, saying that they find older women, 40, 50, attractive. Some even saying more attractive than younger women, because apparently we've got our shit together and we are looking after our bodies. I'm not saying that's true or isn't true, because everyone is completely different. We all look different no matter what our age, so that is just complete rubbish. But it just makes me think, how low would we go? Forget what they want or what their idea is, or...
No. The question is, woman, how low would you go? Because that's why you're making this TikTok, aren't you? How low would you go? Yeah, curious. Yeah, what a lovely, mature woman. Curiosity going on in her, innit? She's probably dating a younger dude right now, isn't she? Slippery young 20-year-old. Look at her. Cougar vibes and everything. My God. But seriously. Again, another common point. The hordes of younger men hunting and chasing the older, mature woman. And again, you can't blame them. Again, we understand why. It's another modern gap in the dating pool, and it's creating these interesting dynamics. There are a lot more younger men that are dating older women. But then the question is, what's happening to men their own age? Like, what are the men their own age doing? Bastards, what are they doing? Who knows? Yes, obviously a lot of them are dating younger women. That's why the dating ratios are so skewed. It's like, who are all these young women dating? But the dating, yeah, a lot of them are dating older men. Some of them sharing older men. But it's another point of the 40-plus bachelor man. A lot of men do actually achieve by the time they get into their late 30s, early 40s, 50s. And some would say, it's mixed with a midlife crisis. It's midlife crisis bastards. Are you going to buy a sports car, innit? A sports car and a young hot woman. Hey, why not? Why not? I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying, why not? Why not? Interesting. The older I get, the more I understand why men actually have midlife crises. I'm not saying it's a good thing. I need to actually make a new video on that, to be honest. But I'm just saying, the older I get, the more I understand why men have them. You know? Some could say it's an ego chase, you bastard. You're trying to relive your youth. Want to get in a fast car and a fast woman? Yes. Why, that sounds fun. But seriously, if a lot of bachelor men become more successful the older that they get, be it whether they've had long commitments or they haven't had any, but they become more successful and they broaden their scope of fun, what they'd call fun, of course there'd be a huge gap in the market. Because someone say, oh, look at these men, they've left their woman, they've divorced their woman, their woman divorced them. Come on. And now these men are just out here freeballing and living life. Why not? Why not? Again, as men live life. But again, this interesting gap in the market. All these older women getting younger men throwing it at them. You can't blame them. Younger men, be careful. Because one thing about millennial women and older, they're quite cunning. Yeah, they're quite cunning. Have you performing cunning things on them and before you know it, you're lost, bro, you're lost. Mouthful of WAP, confused as Be careful, young men, be careful. But yeah, carry on. Lovely woman, relishing in all the young attention she's getting. That young, high testosterone attention she's getting. She's loving it.
They might go to, but how low would you go? So if you're 50, forget you're married or in a relationship or anything like that now, this is just a bit of banter, a bit of fun. What age would you go to? I know someone, very, very good friend of mine who...
She means herself. Really, your friend? No, she's talking about herself. You can see it in her eyes, really? Okay, go on.
Who is 50 and she is with someone who is 30. So that's 20 years. I know I would definitely not go 20 years older. If I was single, would I go 20 years younger? I don't know. Just throwing it out there. So the younger guys like us, but do we like them?
You're just throwing it out there. Yeah, of course you are. Of course you are. It's interesting. Do men go through midlife crisis in the same time period women go through menopause? I'm not actually sure. I didn't actually look it up. I'm just waffling that point. Comment. Feel free to Google and comment that point. Interesting.
2023 Wall Street Journal analysis showed that nearly 7 million prime-age men in the U.S. are neither working nor actively looking for work. That's 1 in 9 men between the ages of 25 and 54. And according to research from the Brookings Institution and consulting firms like McKinsey, many of these men are not interested in available jobs in fields like healthcare, education, and elder care, sectors that have experienced tremendous growth and are still growing. But these are industries that are heavily feminized and associated with caregiving. And when surveyed, this particular cohort of men cited a lack of interest or alignment with their personal values as the reason why they're not working in these fields, not pursuing these jobs, more often than they cite logistical barriers.
Interesting point. Interesting. Okay. All right then. But is this a problem, and how much of a problem is it? Can you blame men for not wanting to work in some of those jobs? Now, if men don't want to work, that's a different question. I'm not talking about those dudes because that's just laziness. And some will say, look, a job is a job. Okay, indeed. Now I get the point she's making, but let's not act as if every woman that works in those fields can just transfer into something very laborious. Yeah? Laying some bricks, plastering, construction, carpentry, etc. on and on. You get it. Very laborious, mostly male-dominated jobs. But I mean, if men are used to that, you can't expect them to want to just be like a nurse. Yeah, bro, I'm used to construction. I'm going to easily transfer to be a nurse. Come on, that doesn't really make sense. But go on, finish your point.
In short, they're not opting out because they can't do the work. They're opting out because they see it as women's work. Their masculinity is so deeply tethered to dominance and to gender roles that they'd rather stay home than take a pink-collar job that might threaten their sense of identity. But who's supporting these 7 million men sitting at home, not working, not in school, and not training for some kind of vocation? It's not the state. It's not their bros. It's women. Their mothers, their sisters, their grandmothers, or their partners. These men are surviving because of women's wages, women's labor, and women's care.
But I mean, isn't that why women are better at care jobs? I mean, they're caring for men, aren't they? Seriously. I'm not making points for men who just don't want to work. At the end of the day, the way I see get money, the way you're going to get money. However you get money, get money. If you're a male nurse, you work in a care home, you work any sort of care job as a man. Like, look, personally, I don't see that as any form of lack of masculinity. No, bro, get your money. It's a job, isn't it? Yeah, but okay. I mean, some could say some of these men are lucky enough to have women to take care of them. A lot of men don't. But does that make them stronger?
Okay, recently divorced dads, I need you guys to chill out when it comes to dating. okay? We're not your wives. I know you've been in husband mode for a while now, but you need to understand we aren't moving at the pace that you want to, like, I've done 2 dates with recently divorced dads, and the speed at which you are ready to wife somebody down is crazy and alarming, and it is scary.
Okay, interesting. Get the point. So she's saying desperate men who have just come out of a divorce are trying to lock down another woman, trying to wife up another woman very, very quickly after coming out of their previous relationship. Now, you can look at this point from different perspectives. On one hand, you can say it's good. They're trying to form something deeper, a deeper connection, after their previous one. Another hand, you could say it's like easy. Maybe have some time to be by yourself. Be a single man. Be a bachelor for a while and see what it's like. So yeah, I mean, you can look at it from various perspectives. And this woman's saying that, a lot of divorced men, they're quite hungry, aren't they? And the point is, a lot of men who have been in a long-term marriage or relationship, in this case marriage, say they got married in their early 20s, got divorced, I don't know, probably 30s, 40s, and now they're back into the streets. Looking for wife number 2 or 3. Now, is it too much? Can you blame them? And another point is, these men will be coming out into the new modern dating market, the dating pool. They'll be coming up against current modern women. Yeah, they're advanced. They've got new programmings and upgraded software. They've got AI now. These modern women have got AI. So, can a man who's been locked down for too long, been married for too long, relationshiped up for too long, booed up for too long, I mean, can he even handle the current modern woman? Or is he playing an outdated game? Got to update your software, bro. I'm saying these modern women have prompts. They got chat GPT prompts.
It is scary. Like, you're still in husband. I cannot describe it other than, like, you're in husband mode. Like, you're maneuvering like I am your wife. Not like in a control, like, not like in just like, you're calling me, you're texting me, you're like, okay, when I say this, it's like, it's not like the attentiveness. It's not like, oh, you're being attentive within a relationship. Like, that stuff is great. It's like, I cannot describe it other than like husband. Like, there is like man who is doing all those things and is like in the, like, I can't even describe it. The communication style between single men who've never been married and aren't divorced, they do all those, a good one does those things. But these divorced dads, like, maybe I'm just wifeable. Maybe that's...
Hey, easy. I mean, you could be. Or you could be easy prey. I'm joking. Could be looking for a new mommy for his kids. Yeah. This is your new stepmom, guys. Your new stepmom. Oh, God, I had a lot of coffee today. But look, it could be for various reasons why a man is so quick to want to settle down again. Again, I'm not saying it's good. I think some men should take some time for themselves. But it would be sad for a lot of dudes to realize who have been in long-term relationships, when they come back out into modern dating, I mean, it's going to be sad for a lot of them to realize, yeah, bro, sorry to let you know this, but you'll find out yourself. A lot of modern women are not wifey material, bro. Now, you can have fun, of course, all day long. Wifey. Good luck. Good luck.
That's what it is. But they are moving at a rapid speed of comfortability and just like husband mode. Like, not in the good ways. I don't know. I'm hoping somebody understands what I'm saying. Slow down. Chill out.
Is it arrogant to say millennial men are great? Millennial men are amazing. Millennial men are pioneers of modern dating because we've had to be, for fuck's sake. Is it too much to say? Or is it that we understand from first-hand experience? The world is yours. Have a nice day.
Bachelor for